guys, it's me Charuta and welcome to my channel, and thank you so much for clicking on this video. And today's video is going to be a DIY video. I have been obsessed with DIYs for the longest time, say 15-20 years, and even this crop top that I'm wearing, I recently DIYed it in my turmeric tie-dye video where I created 3 crop tops from a single t-shirt. I will link that here. I also finally changed my backdrop to some summer pieces. And coming to today's video, I saw this amazing crop top that was upcycled from Nike socks on an online store called Color Studio, and I absolutely loved that crop top. The idea is literally so genius, and the only problem was it was way too expensive for me. It was for $60 and I do not want to spend that kind of money on a crop top. So I decided to DIY one for myself, and then I thought of ordering Nike socks from Amazon, but then here we stand for upcycling and sustainability, so I decided to DIY the crop top from the socks that I already had, the ones that were worn out, the ones that I wore last winter. So I decided to upcycle them, and to be very honest, socks is something we don't even donate. We literally throw them and they go into the garbage pile and into the landfill. So this is an amazing idea to upcycle your socks and be a little more sustainable, and I'm so stoked about how the crop top turned out. So without wasting any further time, let's get started with the video. So to start with the video, I am taking 4 of my old socks. This pink one that has flowers on it, this yellow one that I dyed using avocados, and this white one I've lost another pair, and the yellow sock. So to start with, I also have this little patch that says Tommy Hilfiger and a scissor. That is all I needed. I started with cutting the tube of the sock, and I did cut the longer length, and I took in the part of ankle as well, and the next step was to cut the tube so that it becomes a square or a rectangular piece of fabric, and this is how it looked. I used that cut sock as a sample to cut both the yellow socks, and I'm also cutting in the ankle part because I want the length to be appropriate to cover my chest. I'm doing the same thing to the next yellow sock, just using the scissors, placing the sock on it, cutting it, and then cutting the tube to make it into rectangular or square pieces of fabric. Since the pink sock was shorter in length, I cut it along the length to get this rectangular sort of piece of fabric, and I would need to take the hem in, and then I just placed the pieces and saw the kind of pattern I wanted the pieces to have. Next, I am just going to stitch the ankle part and hem the bottom to make it into a rectangular or a square piece. I am just using a thread and a needle and a simple stitch to do that. I am doing the ankle part right now. Next, I am going to hem the bottom to make it into a straight square piece of fabric. That would be so much easier to work with. Next, I did the same thing to the yellow sock. I took the ankle portion in, and I used a thread and a needle to hand stitch it so get an even hem, and it looks a little. This is how the yellow socks looked after their bottoms were hemmed. They looked pretty uniform, and next I am just placing the pink piece next to the white piece, and this is what I want the front of my crop top to be like. I'm going to hand sew it along the length. I am using a thread and a needle to sew it, and I went over it twice so that it's sturdier and it does not open when I wear it. This is how the front looked after it was stitched using thread and needle. Next, I am going to attach the yellow part next to the white one, and I am going to sew it along the length, and this is how it looked. Similarly, I am using the yellow part next to the pink part, and I am going to sew it using a thread and a needle to create a sort of a rectangular piece with my different pieces attached together. This is how it looked when all the pieces were attached together, and I decided to try it on to see if it would actually fit me. Since the socks have a stretch in them, it did fit me, and then I decided to just stitch together the last remaining edge to make it into a tube top, and the yellow portion formed the back of the tube top and the pink and the white portion formed the front part. As you can see, I was pretty happy with how the tube looked when I tried it on, and the next step was to attach the straps. Instead of using this leftover socks fabric for the straps, I decided to use this cotton thread that I got in a PR package. I cut it into 4 equal parts and I saw how it would go on. Next, I tried the top again and I marked the places where the straps would go on, and next I used a thread and a needle to stitch all the 4 pieces into place. This is how the crop top looked with the straps on. I tied the straps into a bow and it looked super cute. The next step is the tie-dye. I am just folding the crop top and then I am adding 2 rubber bands on the body of the crop top. It would help it get that tie-dye effect, and I am using a fabric paint mixed with water to create my tie-dye dye. I am just adding a little bit of water in a plastic container. Then I'm using the back of a fork to add the color, and I keep adding the color till I get the consistency that I like. And then I am just dipping the crop top, different portions of it, into the plastic container. And since the sock fabric soaks a lot of water, I let it sit in the mixture for about 30 minutes, and once all the mixture was soaked into the fabric, I opened the rubber bands to see how the pattern looked, and different portions of the crop top absorbed the color differently. And then I just used the fabric paint on my fingers to give it more of a tie-dye effect. The back looks more orange, the front looks more pink. Next, I let the crop top dry in shade. The final step was attaching the Tommy Hilfiger logo that I saved from my thrift flip DIY. I used a white thread and I hand stitched the logo. I love the contrast stitching and I only had white thread, so I had no other options. I just stitched it around the boundary using small uniform stitches. Once I stitched the logo, I just added a knot at the back so that it is secure. Finally, I decided to hem along the bottom of my crop top so that it gets a uniform look and it doesn't look shabby. Once I hemmed the bottom of the crop top, my crop top was ready, and this literally is the best before and after I have seen in my life. I am so happy with how the crop top turned out. It has a very artsy, deconstructed kind of vibe and it looks uber cool. So guys, that is how the crop top turned out and I am super obsessed with it, and for some reason I am really in love with these artsy sort of pieces, the whole deconstructed vibe, and I just went all out. I DIY'd it and I tie-dyed it and I added that patch and I absolutely love it. Let me know what you guys think of this video, and would you make a crop top out of your old socks? And in case you like this video, you know what to do. Give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, hit the bell icon, and yeah, that's it for this video. I'll see you in my next video next Monday. Bye.